Hey everyone, this is Michelle with Gaming Cypher and a new review. Actually, wait, I'm going to stop you right there. I don't want you to listen to this review. I want you to just go buy this game. Okay, you're still here? Well, then let's jump in. Moonstone Island is more than a video game. It's a love letter, and it reads something like this. Dear childhood, you were the best. I can still remember the first time I saw Kiki's delivery service in Nausicaa of the Valley of the Wind. I remember getting Pokemon Yellow as my middle school graduation present and playing it on my hot pink Game Boy Color the week I had bronchitis. I remember learning to play Magic the Gathering in the back of French class in high school from CJ, that super cute emo guy I still wish I had told I had liked. Anyways, adulthood sucks, and I thought we should hang out again, so I made this game, Moonstone Island, for us to play. Let me know what you think. TTFN, myself as an elder millennial. Or, something like that. Drawing inspiration from Studio Ghibli, Moonstone Island follows the journey of a young, unnamed alchemist who is off to spend a year away from home to learn their craft. Launching themselves into the great unknown on a magic broom, the alchemist gets caught in a storm and crash lands onto, wait for it, Moonstone Island, an island in the sky. This simple story is the launching point for a grand adventure. The protagonist develops relationships with the people living on Moonstone Island. Each character has their own unique personalities and dialogue. Once the young alchemist begins to leave the main island, they will discover that island spirits are not pleased with the human inhabitants, and something needs to be done. There is also a mysterious Magic Man, who conveniently catches the alchemist if she falls off her broom while flying. Magic Man, has somehow misplaced his memory and needs the alchemist's help to recover it. But players need to wonder, is he helping the alchemist out for the good of the islands or for his own selfish purposes? The separate narratives of the game weave together to keep players guessing and eager to uncover the next chapter. The developers of Moonstone Island clearly drew from several recognizable and beloved sources of inspiration, such as Stardew Valley, Slay the Spire, Pokemon, Studio Ghibli, Magic the Gathering. For this reason, there is a welcome variety in the gameplay. Players can focus on spirit collecting, farming, exploring for resources, dungeon crawling, crafting, building their houses, dating, or unraveling the mysteries of the island. The variety of gameplay means that players can focus on their favorite features, sample a little of all the above, or really take their time to dig into each aspect of the game. Relationships. There aren't many characters to get to know in Moonstone Island, but each relationship will take time and effort. Each of the island's inhabitants has a quest to dole out, which will help players unlock more features in the game. For example, and I will admit I had to go to the Discord to figure this out, helping Zed will open up the option to make the spirit barn, which will allow players to raise more spirits and get spirit resources, including clay and sea glass. At least I think this is what the instructions in Discord were saying. Anyways, also developers have made it worth it to revisit characters as often as possible while exploring. Depending on the time of day, season, weather, etc., characters will have unique dialogue, giving them a realism that can be lacking from some other games' relationship mechanics. And it's worth trying to talk to characters every day, because it takes a long time to get these relationships built up. I swear, I had to talk to someone every day for 30 days before I finally gained a whole heart in the relationship meter. Farming. The tutorial at the beginning of the game focuses on teaching gamers the farming mechanics. Players learn how to hoe, sow, and harvest. Full transparency though, I've barely touched farming since I crash landed onto Moonstone Island. I've restarted the game 3 times now to get a better feel for how the lightly procedurally generated game changes each time and how my playstyle changes as I learn more. In my first playthrough, I did a few obligatory rows, planted a handful of stone fruits, and then lost the entire crop when the season changed unexpectedly. For my second and third plays, I didn't invest any time into farming, except for trying to build a greenhouse for which you need sea glass, but which I could not find, thus the reason I went digging for the answer in the Discord. Right now, I'm not sure how much farming is really necessary to the overall experience. Still, I can say that gamers who like farming can do as much as their heart desires. And I know Moonstone Island has a lot to offer, so I am excited to see if I reach a point in the game where I absolutely have to farm. Spirit collecting. Moonstone Island has approximately 60 spirits players can find, tame, and fight. Spirits have differing characteristics depending on which of the floating island environments they come from. You get beachy spirits from the islandy islands, zappy spirits from the electric islands, spicy spirits from the fire islands, and so on and so forth. For completionists, collecting all of the spirits is going to be an absolute blast, and players can tame and raise spirits in their spirit barn in addition to meeting all of them in the wild. Dungeon crawling. Exploration is one of the best aspects of Moonstone Island. While exploring the 100+ floating islands, players encounter traditional dungeons filled with puzzles, traps, and formidable foes. In addition, though, players will stumble on hidden dungeons while gathering resources. The floating islands are riddled with mines full of treasure, which is a great incentive to whack every rock you see with a hammer. Actual treasure maps are also scattered throughout the island, so on top of the dungeons and the hidden mines, players will get to track down even more loot. Customization. For gamers who want even more, Moonstone Island also features a crafting aspect, which allows players to build and decorate their houses. And if that's not enough, you could potentially have as many houses as there are islands. While poking around in the Discord, I came across a dev response to the question, are the gems worth holding on to or just for selling? The dev's response indicated that there will be an ultra bling flashy house that players will be able to unlock in the full release. I, for one, cannot wait. While decorating virtual homes is always fun, every item I've decided to craft has also had actual in-game benefits. For example, I crafted the calendar just because I had the grass fiber to make the cloth to make the calendar. Lo and behold, the calendar then told me when everyone's birthday was, which then just motivated me to want to craft every other item to learn about the perks. The actual only negative thing I have to say about the whole game, though, is how long it takes to craft ingots. It is forever, and players can only craft one at a time. Insert crying face emoji. This definitely puts the brakes on how fast a player can level up their gear, but it also means that gamers have yet another reason to keep coming back to Moonstone Island. It should be no surprise that I give Moonstone Island a 10 out of 10. I loved it through and through. It weaves together all my favorite references into something truly wonderful to play. Studio Supersoft has created a game that exceeds all of my expectations. The gameplay features complement each other, creating a cohesive experience that keeps gamers circling back. Outstandingly crafted, undeniably charming, Moonstone Island is available now on Steam.